So,
Whenever you're ready, you can start with that. I'll share my screen in the meantime. Yeah.
is it 6, 7, 28 to 40?
6, 7, 27 to 28 to 40. Yeah, correct. Yeah, please go ahead, Matri, whenever you're ready.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jai Udirate Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. Hare Krishna, dear Nitai Gauranga devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we'll be reading the translations only from Canto 6, Chapter 7, verses 28 through 40. Title, Canto 6, title, Prescribed Duties for Mankind. Chapter 7, Indra offends his spiritual master, Brahaspati. Text 28, O Brahmana, the highest duty of a son, even though he has sons of his own, is to serve his parents, and want to speak of his son who is brahmachari. Text 29 to 30, the Acharya, the spiritual master who teaches all the Vedic knowledge and gives initiation by offering the scarred thread, is the personification of all the Vedas. Similarly, a father personifies Lord Brahma, O brother King Indra, a mother, a planet Earth, and a sister, Mercy. A guest personifies religious principles, and invited guest personifies the demigod Agni, and all living entities personify Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 31. Dear son, we have been defeated by our enemies, and therefore we are very much aggrieved. Please mercifully fulfill our desires by reliving our distress through the strength of your astuties. Please fulfill our prayers. Text 32. Since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, you are a perfect Brahman, and therefore you are the spiritual master of all orders of life. We accept you as our spiritual master and director, so that by the power of your astuity we may easily defeat the enemies who have conquered us. Text 33. The demigods continue, do not fear criticism for being younger than us. Such etiquette does not apply in regard to Vedic mantras, except in relationship to Vedic mantras. Seniority is determined by age, but one may offer respectful obeisances even to a younger person who is advanced in chanting Vedic mantras. Therefore, although you are junior, in relationship to us, you may become our priest without hesitation. Text 34. Shukdev Goswami continued, when all the demigods requested the great Vishwarupa to be their priest. Vishwarupa, who was advanced in astuties, was very pleased. He replied to them as follows. Text 35. Sri Vishwarupa said, O demigods, although the acceptance of priesthood is described as causing the loss of previously acquired Brahmical power, how can someone like me refuse to accept your personal request? You are all exalted commanders of the entire universe. I am your disciple and must take many lessons from you. Therefore, I cannot refuse you. I must agree for my own benefit. Text 36. O exalted governors of various planets, the true Brahman, who has no material possession, maintains himself by the profession of accepting silochana. In other words, he picks up grains left in the field and on the ground in the wholesale marketplace. By this means, householder Brahmanas who actually abide by the principles of austerity and penance maintains themselves and their families and perform all necessary pious activities. A Brahmana who desires to achieve happiness by gaining wealth through professional priestlyhood must certainly have a very low mind. How shall I accept such priesthood? Text 37. All of you are very superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reapproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Text 38. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishvarupa, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. Text 39. The opulence of the demons, who are generally known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Shukracharya, but Vishvarup, who was most powerful, composed of a protective prayer known as the Narayana Kavacha. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahendra, the king of heaven. Text 40, the last text of the day. Vishvarupa, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra, Shasharaksha, the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Thus ends the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Prescribed Duties of Mankind, Chapter 7. Indra offends his spiritual master, Praspati. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna to all. Prabhuji, please continue a brief overview of the translations just read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotee. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let me share my video. So, yeah. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna to all of you. Thank you, Mataji, for reading today's translations. And we will discuss today the chapter 6th canto, 7th chapter. Indra offends his spiritual master, Bruhaspati. And this is a very beautiful chapter that we heard from Mamshivadan Prabhu and Krishna Venudas Prabhu, and so devotees have already wonderfully spoke about the teachings from the actions of all the parties who are involved in this chapter. And there are so many beautiful lessons, though the chapter doesn't have so much of purports. We will continue to I'll continue to share what I heard from the lectures that over the last couple of days. We'll start with brief prayers. Om Ajnanathmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So this is a continuation of the Indra offending his spiritual master Bruhaspati, and Indra fails to respect his spiritual master, proud of his material opulence. And then Indra failed to, it's not that Indra failed to see his guru walking into the assembly, It's just a familiarity breeds contempt. So this is what is going on in the case of Indra. So Bruhaspati, on his part, he just left the assembly without getting angry. And Indra immediately realized his mistake and regretted it. And later, Indra has lamented in front of everyone in the assembly, because when the intoxication effect has subsided, he realized in his, though he was not spontaneous, but he realized little late. Just like in the case of Uttanapada, when when Suruchi was mistreating his son Dhruva, at that time he could not act at the spur of the moment. But because he could not act at the spur of moment, the opportunity is already lost. So similarly, in the case of Indra also, he could not act at the spur of the moment. He initially thought, uh, that, I don't have to care. He comes every day to the assembly. And with a simple act of negligence exhibited by his guru, he realized his mistake. It's very subtle. He realized it very quickly, but it's too late. It's too late. So this the samskaras, the sadachar that we learn throughout our life by practicing the devotional service. This is not simply should remain at the theoretical level. We should be able to respond at the spur of the moment. Opportunity is lost, and and there is a big havoc after that. In the case of Indra, so we should be prepared to act accurately as per the as per the needs of the moment, and we should not ignore or neglect. So this is one of the greatest lessons that we can learn. So similarly, Brahma chastises and instructs devatas. So after the lamentation, now he actually took shelter of Brahma, who is a spiritual master. That is the greatness of demigods like Indra. Indra has that humility to go and take an advice from superiors. So he approached Brahma, and Brahma had the leverage given by demigods to chastise. That is the freedom even demigods have given to their superior. So superior took opportunity to chastise them, to course correct them. So a devotee should also have a similar, even in our regular affairs in the day-to-day life, we need someone to guide us. So what to speak of spirituality? We definitely need guidance. So we need to have some senior devotees, uh, who are ready to help us out. You are just away from our phone call away. Who are just phone call away. So we can take necessary advices when crisis hit our life. Without that, what happens is we have to suffer alone. So always take shelter of a senior, even in your material life. Let's say you are a stock trader. You need to have some senior stock trader in your friend circle, right? In order to not to lose your money in your investments, which is not so good. So similarly, when you are when you're investing your energy into spirituality, your goal is to please Krishna. So sometimes we forget how to please Krishna. What is my action really pleasing Krishna? We get lost in the you know in in the details of the crisis rather than focusing on the essence. So at that time, it is essential to have someone a phone call away who can advise us. Even it could be a friend, a devotee who is wise enough. So you should give him a even opportunity to chastise if that is okay. The reason is Brahma here is actually giving a solution to their problem just by he combined it in his chastisement, right? From 23rd to 24th verse. He initially said, you have been defeated by demons because you have disrespected your guru. And then he said from 23rd to 24th verse, demons are powerful by worshipping their guru. There is no misfortune for one who respects brahmanas, cows, and the Lord. So this is the highest principle. Anybody who respects and worships uh, brahmanas, cows, and the Lord, they will, and ultimately through the guidance of the guru, they will be powerful, and they will remain undefeated. So this is the advice. So this is the root cause analysis that Brahma has provided. Accept Vishwarupa as guru, he will fulfill your desire. So as you can see, Brahma is suggesting you accept Vishwarupa as a guru, who is um, actually son of a demonic descendant. His mother is of a demonic descent. Now Brahma is advising Devatas, imagine, who have been fighting for generations with the same demonic dynasties, right, to uphold the law and order in the universe. They are going through so much of battle. And imagine there is even a situation when uh, at one time during the Samudra Manthan pastime, the Devatas have almost destroyed the dynasties of demonic demons. So at that time, Asuras were almost at the brink of extinction. Immediately, Narada Muni intervened. And what did he do? Narada Muni said, "Stop what you're doing. I understand that you're trying to win the battle and maintain the law and order, but in the course, you're trying to destroy the whole dynasties of demons, which is not good. So it might appear illogical, whatever Brahmaji said at this moment, that you go and take shelter and accept a son of a mother who is from a demonic descent, and you accept him as your spiritual master and consider him as the most respectable person in your life. Imagine that kind of instruction coming from Brahma, you know. And what did they do? This is what is the greatness of demigods. Indra simply accepted it without, it's not that he did not apply logic, but his faith on Brahma was so great that he doesn't think about logic. He simply know that it is for the well-being of myself and for everyone. So he simply accepted it. That is a faith towards a spiritual master. So Brahma is a pitamaha for everyone. So he's a grandfather for everyone, every living entity in this material world. And he is also spiritual master, kind of a spiritual master level position for all the devatas. Now Brahmaji is asking to take shelter of another priest. So that is actually a priesthood for martial arts purpose. So there are different types of gurus, Prabhupada says. Right? Prabhupada says that Vishwarup is here to assist Indra to actually fight against the demons. So this is a military field, a guru who is helping him in his military field. And there can be many such gurus in the material platform. But spiritual master is who actually is going to be only one who is a someone who is giving a diksha. There could be multiple mentors. There could be also in the field of spirituality, and there could be multiple gurus whom we can listen the Bhagavad Gita from and learn the spiritual lessons. So Prabhupada says there are many such gurus that one can take shelter under in one's life. And The Devatas speak to Vishwarupa. If you notice, from 26th to 33rd, Devatas start speaking to Vishwarupa. Let's get into the details of the chapter. And this is from 28th to 40th verse that we are going to talk. So 28th verse says that the highest duty of a son, though having sons of his own, is to serve his parents, and what to speak of a son who is a brahmachari. So Devatas are naturally in fatherly position because they are the universal administrators for the earthly beings. They're considered to be fatherly beings. So so naturally it is a duty of a son. That's what they are reminding him. It is a duty of a son, though having sons of his own, is to serve his parents. This is a wonderful verse to also recite. Um, and it says, Putranam hi paro dharmaha pitru sushrushanam syatam api putratvam brahmam kimuta brahmacharinam. It says, even if putranam hi paro dharma, this is the paro dharma, the highest dharma of any son. What is that? Pitru sushrushanam satam, always serve uh, his parents, father, always. Api putratvam brahman, even though, oh dear Brahmana, dear Vishwarupa, even though api putratvam brahman, even though that person is already having his own sons, still he is supposed to serve his parents, his father. Kimuta brahmacharinam. What to speak of someone who don't have sons, who is a brahmachari? Of course, he need to serve his father. So this is the Niti Sutra explained by Devatas. And please mercifully relieve our distress through the strength of your austerities. We have been defeated by enemies. As you can see, they themselves are trying to take shelter under Vishwarupa. How come is that they are trying to lecture him? So we might get that doubt. They are not here for higher education. They are here for getting help of his Brahma Tejas. They want the power and strength of his austerities so that they can use it against fighting against the demons. That is why. And now, so Acharya 29 to 30th verse, as you can see, this is an important verse that you can actually, it's worth memorizing this verse. This is Acharyo Brahmano Murti. Now Devatas continue to speak. Acharyo Brahmano Murti, Pita Murti Prajapate, Bhrata Marutpater Murtir, Mata Sakshat Chitesh Tanuhu, Dayaya Bhagani Murtir, Dharmasya Atma Atithi Swayam, Agner Abhyagato Murti, Sarva Bhutani Chatmanaha. The important points in this verse are primarily Acharyo Brahmano Murti. Someone who is a spiritual master are at they are personification of Vedas. And Pita Murte Prajapate. And the father is a personification of Brahma himself, a father. And Bhrata Marutpater Murter. He is a brother, is actually a personification of Indra. Mata Sakshat Kshitestanu. Mother is directly personification of Mother Earth, who is who is the sole reason behind our sustenance and existence in the human form. Mata Sakshat Kshitestanu. She is a personification of Mother Earth. So like that, it is explained. As you can see here, Vishwarup is being advised because we are your guests. This is the subtlety. they are explaining through this Dharma Shastric verse. Because we are here as your guests, you cannot simply displease us. You need to fulfill our desire. That is the inner meaning. And that's why they quoted here, invited guest is equivalent to Agni Dev. Uninvited guest, however, is equivalent to Dharma Devata. It's very astonishing. If you can see, uninvited guest, as per the Vedic culture, is equivalent to Dharma personification. So let's say uninvited guest could be a someone who is our friend so dear that he just came without even calling us. So he's very dear to us. So as soon as even though he's uninvited, we respect him. We ask him to take breakfast and so on and so forth. Respect, give him water, please him. Let's say there is some um, a window vendor who is trying to replace our windows. So he's trying to come and knock our door. But still, you cannot disrespect him saying that he's soliciting. In the dictionary of Krishna's shastras that he gave, there is nothing called solicitor. There is atatayina, that is someone who is coming to cause a destruction in your at your house. Trying to forcefully capture your property, etc. We are talking about a solicitor, mere solicitor. You cannot disrespect a solicitor saying, uh, get lost. So basically, he is also a representation of dharma as per Vedic culture. You can respectfully say, I don't need it, thank you. Like that, you can respectfully speak. And similarly, now here, Vishwarupa, please mercifully relieve our distress. They are putting another plea in the 31st verse. Through the strength of your austerities, please relieve our distress. As you can see, when they approach Brahmadev, all the devatas limbs are all they're all wounded, heavily wounded actually. So they are in a similar situation when they approached Vishwarupa also, and they are begging for giving distress relief, right? So, and we accept you as our guru because you are perfect Brahmana. You are completely aware of Supreme Brahman, and by your power, we will easily defeat our enemies. Now, the point to be noted here, dear devotees, is however we are going for a material education to some guru, the principle is if there is availability, always give priority to someone who is completely aware of Supreme Brahman. That is how our prioritization should go. Of course, it's not possible all the times, but provided the teacher must understand the Supreme Brahman first before he teach any material science. Then, by your power, we will easily defeat our enemies. This is what they said. And age is no consideration. 33rd verse says, offering obeisances to a younger person is not condemned if he is advised in chanting the Vedic mantras. Advanced in chanting the Vedic mantras. Narada Muni says to Dhruva Maharaj, if you can remember from our past classes. So whenever we are approached by anyone, how do we respond to the situation? So a person who is approached, he could be someone equal to our qualities, or lower than our qualities, or above our qualities. So every human being must know some principle given by Narada Muni, given in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So he told that to Dhruva Maharaj. Gunadikan mudam lipsyen, anukrosham gunadhamat, maitrim samanadhanviche, natapair abhibhuyate. So every human being, not just Dhruva Maharaj that he's addressing to, Gunadikan mudam lipsyen. Be pleased to see someone who is greater than you in qualities, in qualification. Be pleased. Don't be jealous. Don't have grudges. And he says, Anukrosham gunadhamat. When you see someone lower than you in qualities, then what you have to do? You have to be compassionate. Try to cultivate this habit of being compassionate to that person. And as you can see, Vishwarup is also, exhibiting similar culture here. Anukrosham gunadhamat, maitrim samanadan viche. You have to, when you see someone who is equal to you, you should be friendly in nature. And what is the result when we follow these three principles? The result is natape rabhibhuyate. That means there is no tapa. There will be no distresses, unwanted distresses that you will be inviting into your life. Just by following this principle, one can be peaceful in his life. There won't be any more miseries in his life. And most of the miseries are addressed just by following this principle. And similarly here, Vishwarup is first trying to pleasingly talk. He's not bitter. Oh, you came for me, you demigods. Now you remembered me because you need my help. Now you came to demon. Of course, his father is a demigod. He did not say that. He was very respectful. And offering obeisances to a younger person like Vishwarup is not condemned if he is advanced in chanting the Vedic mantras. That's the principle, higher principle. So Prabhupada says in 33rd verse, some principles actually, according to age, one may be a junior, but according to experience or expertise in chanting mantras or knowledge, one can be considered superior. We have several examples from Srimad Bhagavatam. Devahuti accepted her son Kapiladeva as a guru and heard from him. Of course, he's a spiritual, he's a supreme personality of God expansion. Still, Sukadeva Goswami is a 16-year-old boy, and he is mentioned as Jnana Vruddha. Jnana Vruddha is a veteran in the spiritual knowledge. So there is another example called where Vidura is a grand old man. He's approaching Uddhava, who is a very young man, comparatively at the age of his son, for getting shelter under him. Of course, Uddhava didn't felt to be, so he felt that it would be a Maryada Vitikrama. It would be considered a disrespect if I accept him as my disciple. Let me advise him to connect with the Maitreya, who is very experienced and exalted. So Vidura, having approached Uddhava, means that indicates this principle. So it's not about age; it's about the spiritual knowledge, realization, experience. Now you can see Jaya Vijaya. There is another example, right? Jaya Vijaya, they couldn't respect four Kumaras when they were at the gate of the Vaikunta. They thought, oh, these are four little boys, kids. How can you enter Vaikunta, as a kid? You cannot. Your younger looking children, looks like your parents are lost. They got, and these four Kumaras who are Jnanis, they got offended with this behavior. And these kids, of course, they don't cry, right? These kids, they curse. So they cursed Jaya and Vijaya. So that is what we learn is we have to not just superficially see the age of a person and decide whether to respect or not. On the other hand, Prutu worshipped four Kumaras. Jaya and Vijaya could not. But Prutu worshipped four Kumaras, although they were looking like kids. Actually, their jivas first created by Brahma, so they are elder to everyone in this universe, in fact. So Chanaka Pandit says, Prabhupada quotes Chanaka Pandit verse, Nichadapi uttamam jnanam. One may accept education from member of lower social order also if he has knowledge. Nichadapi, lowest member in the society, it doesn't matter. Nichadapi uttamam jnanam, because the jnana that he has is uttama, one can approach for even a lowest person for the knowledge. Brahmana is superior to Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? Among all four varnas. But if Kshatriya seems to be more knowledgeable, the principle than Brahmana, then the principle is there is no problem accepting instruction from Kshatriya also. There is no problem. Lord Chaitanya also quotes to Ramananda Rai. Kiba vipra kiba nyasi Shudra kene naya Yei Krishna tattva veta sei guru haya. He says, Kiba vipra kiba nyasi Shudra kene naya. There is a difference between Vipra and a sannyasi, right? Whether one is a Brahmana or whether one is a sannyasi, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi, Shudra kene naya, even though he's a Shudra, why? So anyone who is a knower of the science of Krishna, Ei Krishna Tattva Veta, say Guru Haya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared that person is the spiritual master, is advanced. That is the consciousness that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. So Vishwarup is pleased and started answering from 34th verse. He said, I agree for my own benefit. Although priesthood causes the loss of Brahmanical power, I cannot refuse your request because I am your disciple and you are the commanders of this universe. This is a direct acceptance of the will of the providence, thereby the will of the Krishna. Especially will of the Brahmadev is nothing but will of Krishna. So he's saying, I cannot refuse your request because I am your disciple. He's helping Brahmadev by not refusing the requests of Devatas in maintaining the law and order of the universe. That's how he's executing the will of the Krishna. I can't refuse your request because I am your disciple and you are the commanders of the universe. That is the respect he's giving. And he's saying it's for my own benefit, just to please Krishna. Inside probably is his desire. He didn't express. For my own benefit, I will, though it will cost loss to my Brahma Tejas, if I engage supporting you, but I still will do it. So priesthood is a condemned profession. Someone who is doing priesthood for money is condemned. How can I take it up? He's questioning himself. So he's contemplating, though I am accepting, I am not accepting for the purpose of money and opulence that you're offering. I'm accepting as a duty. The true Brahmana who has no material professions maintains himself by silonchana vritti, collecting grains from the field of the marketplace. I am ready to survive myself collecting the corn grains, and left in the market field or in the farm field. I am ready to survive on them. Though I am going to support you, I'll still continue to be in that. That is the intent of he mentioning this. It's not that I'm going to simply abuse your opulences just because you're taking my help. I'll continue as a Brahmana. This is the exaltedness of Brahmanas in the olden days. Chanakya Pandit, when he was visited by he got a visitor. In fact, when he was talking to the visitor who was sent by king himself, he was using a specific lamp for documentation purposes. He's doing some documentation. As soon as he is ready to talk to that person, he turned off that lamp and he turned on his own lamp. He is not willing to use the resources given by the government for his own personal purposes. So that is exalted. He was living in a thatched hut. Though his king is so rich and he's ready to give him so much of richness, he never accepted it. Chanakya Pandit. So that was the consciousness of Brahmanas. Brahmanas are free advisors, just for the welfare of the whole society and the king. That was the mindset of Brahmanas. We are talking about Vishwarupa being in such exalted position. I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions, he says. So Vishwarupa teaches Indra the Narayana Kavacha from 38, 39 and 40. Yeah. And Indra is called Sahasraksha, the secret hymn. So this is such a exalted hymn composed by Narayana Kavacha, composed by Vishwarupa. This is a protective prayer. And Vishwarupa took away the opulence of demons just by this power of this mantra that he composed, and knowledge of Sukracharya and gave all the opulences back to Indra. So this is the teachings of today's lessons. This is it for today's class, dear devotees. Please let me know if I made any mistake. Sundarācala Prabhu, please feel free to correct. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sundarācala Prabhuji.